it took you many, many years to get to that point. But I guess the good thing is that it happened. You could still be down that path.
Yeah.
Thank God you're not.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing against people that drink and stuff. I mean, it's just, for me, it was just out of control, and I'm just thankful now. I mean, it was hard when I got out of it, because I spent a couple weeks in rehab, and then I finished up on an outpatient because I was going crazy in there. I was like, dude, I'll never drink again, just because of being. I don't ever want to come back here. I felt like I was in jail, and people. I kind of don't like to be told what to do, one of those people, and like just being bossed around all day and stuff. I'm just like, oh my God, this is horrible. Like, what did I do? So like when I got out, I remember I went back into playing the bars, and within 2 days of getting out, and that was hard, man, because it was like that's all that was on my mind, and it just took time. Now I'm like, I go in the bars and hang out, and play my shows, and bullshit with everybody like I would be if I was partying, but I'm not. It took a long time to learn how to do that. Yeah. Because alcohol, of course, is a huge social lubricant. And
well, Bobby, my guy Bobby said, like, Shakes is coming over, and we're going to be talking about this. And we probably shouldn't be drinking because we like to drink beer here at the studio. And I said, Shakes is around that all the time. He's a rock star. He's at clubs and bars, and that's what all the people he's around. That's what they do. I said, I'm sure he's got a handle on it by now.
Yeah, I mean, he had definitely got to learn how to get a handle on it if you're going to still keep doing what I do. Right. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother me. Like I never ever thought I would get to that point. Never in a million years. I mean, even when I was partying, there would be nights that I would go play and I wouldn't drink, just because I didn't. I'm doing it all the time. I'm just like, man, I need a break. Right. And it would be even hard, like on those days, like to not do it, and everybody's like, oh, you're not gonna fucking drink, you're not gonna be no fun today, and blah blah blah, and it's just like, all right, You
got into Wednesday 13. Was that because of Ramon got you in that band? 'Cause I know you guys were old friends, and Ramon's the guitar player for Wednesday 13, and he's a San Antonio native, and he kind of helped you get into the band? Yeah,
he totally did. I actually ended up in the Murder Dolls.
Right.
First.
That was Wednesday's band with Joey, right?
Yep. This was crazy, man. I got a call from them, and they were having problems, and they wanted me to come play drums for them. They were like, can you go to Australia in like 3 weeks? I was like, yeah, I mean, what do I need to do? What do I got to do to get this process going? All the, the paperwork, visas, and all that stuff, we had to do. And my wife helped me out with that a lot. And we got all that stuff done. And I went to Australia and played in front of, probably like, there's a big festival over there called Soundwave. Yeah. It was like 6 stages or something, and just all kinds of huge bands. And my first time ever playing with them was in front of like 8,000 people with no rehearsals.
Wow.
It was like,
that's pressure.
I hope you know this stuff, I got there. I mean, I had known Joey a little bit from when Pitbull Daycare did a tour of Ministry, and
he drowned for Ministry, right?
For Ministry on that tour, and that's how Ramon kind of got into Wednesday and all that stuff. It was just connections through that. So yeah, Joey wasn't there until like probably 30 minutes before we went on, and he's like, "Are you ready to do this?" I'm like, yeah, I guess so. I was pretty nerve-wracked out, and I just kind of went back there, and we worked out the set as far as like, okay, after this song I'm going to talk, this song, we're going to end it like this or whatever, and I went out and did it, and it went great, but yeah, that only lasted like a couple tours with them, and then that kind of disbanded, and then Wednesday called me because he wasn't going to have me play for a solo band because he didn't want everybody from Murder Dolls.
Right.
But then he just, after it split, he was like, you know what? I don't give a shit. Like, he kept everybody from Murder Dolls.
Right.
Jack, the bass player, moved to guitar, and then I got Troy into the band.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, that's how that all went down.
And are you still working with Wednesday at this point, or have you kind of just moved on from that?
No, I just quit earlier this year. We're still on good terms and everything. You know, it wasn't a bad breakup or anything, but I joined up with a group out of Dallas called Murder FM.
We know Murder FM, J6, and Nathan.
I've seen the Rob's MetalWorks interviews because I remember when J6 called me. I kind of like, was it last year I started like helping them out, filling in. They lost their drummer, and I went and did a tour with them. You know, just to help them out and stuff. And I was looking online to find songs, and I found the Rob's Metalwork. I found the episode with him. I was like, okay, let's see what these guys are like. That was kind of my first seeing of like how they are. But Murder FM just recently got signed to Famous Records out of Nashville, and Pavement is involved, and I just kind of, you know, I think it's an opportunity. It's something, you know, to do something different, be in a band. I mean, you know, playing with Wednesday, it was, you know, you're a hired gun, you know, and you're not, you know, you're a band member, but, you know, it's not.
You're not involved in decision making and stuff like that.
I would just go and do the tours, do the albums, and he would pay me for it. Which is great, man. I had a great time in that band, and
let me ask you something. I didn't mean to interrupt, but you know, leaving a gig like Wednesday and going to Murder FM, and I know the Murder FM guys, great guys, you know, good people. Did the lifestyle change that you undertook did that kind of have a role in you choosing Murder FM over Wednesday 13th? Because I imagine that when you were with Wednesday, you were, you know, the debauchery was high.
Yeah, it was definitely high, especially when I was drinking. I mean, I was the worst one with the party. Those guys, you know, they like to party. Wednesday likes to drink, but they're not like, I get fucking amped up and out of control, and I'm like wanting to blast the stereo at fucking as loud as it'll go, and I'm headbanging on the bus and shit, you know. The last tour, you know, going out with them and not drinking, it was a little weird at first, but like I say, it started not to bother me as much as I thought it was going to. But the fact that, you know, those guys in Murder FM, none of them do drink, that was kind of one point that was kind of a plus for me. I was like, well, you know, these guys don't party, and, you know, they're just chilled out, you know, so maybe that's another good sign that, you know, I should, you know, get involved with this.
And they're a hard-working band, you know, very dedicated to what they do in their career. So, when I heard that you had officially joined Murder FM, I was like, those dogs are very lucky. They got Jason West. You know, he's a great drummer, and you know, I think I shared with you when I saw you at Bonds several weeks ago that, you know, I had been familiar with their old drummer. He was a very young guy. And, you know, not to take anything away from him, a good drummer, but, I mean, you're like a whole new caliber of players. So, I mean, I'm sure that they could, you know, they wanted you in the band for what you could bring into it, man. And I think they got you at the best time, you know, the sober Jason West.
They did. And they dealt with the drunk Jason West a little bit because I remember that first tour that I did with them. I was really, you know, into the partying, and they were just like, God, this guy's crazy. But you know, I guess they, you know,
he's a damn good drummer.
Yeah, I'm a good drummer, and they still liked me enough to want to keep me around and stuff.
Well, so that's great, man. You know, it seems like, you know, everything's coming full circle for you. And, you know, also people know that you've been kind of keeping yourself with Evil United. And it kind of like, to me, like when Evil United is like the real, you know, dark, heavy truly metal band. There's no glitz or glamour. It's just like really, straight ahead. And your good friend JV4 plays guitar, and Donnie from Pitbull, and of course McMaster. And Bird. So it's like a great. To me, it was kind of like a super group in many ways.
Yeah, that's a real fun project. That whole thing just started as after Pitbull Daycare, and I think it was while we were jamming with Cult of Follow. I was over at Bird's house. We were actually demoing some songs that we were going to submit to Brian for new Cult of Follow material, and he was just kind of like, "Hey, dude, I've got a couple of these metal songs." I had no idea he wrote any metal songs. He's like, "Can you put some drums to them?" And I was like, "Okay," So I listened to him. I was like, "Wow, this is like fucking crazy," So yeah, I laid down the drums on it, and then we had Donnie put bass on it, and then it just kind of snowballed into, like, they called me and they're like, "Dude, we're gonna get Jason McMasters to sing on all this stuff."
Wow.
I was like, "Wow, that's cool,"
Yeah.
So it's actually turning into a band, and
yeah.
that came out of nowhere.
And you guys have put out a couple of records now, okay, under the Evil United moniker. And I know you guys kind of play out, because I know everybody's kind of, Jason does his things, and everybody's kind of busy. But is the band still together, and you guys going to are you writing new music or thinking about a new record? Has anybody been talking about a new record?
Yeah, we are. Right now, we just, last time we played was a couple months ago. We did a couple shows with Saxon and Armored Saint. That was really cool.
I was there for that show.
Yeah. We did San Antonio. We did Dallas.
Yeah.
And now we are JV4 just moved back to San Antonio, so we got his studio built in the house.
I've seen pictures of it. It's very beautiful.
Oh man, it's
amazing,
nice.
yeah?
It's nice. It's really nice. So yeah, we've got 8 songs demoed right now.
Sweet.
As far as I was just over there last week, and I did another 3. So that's fun. That stuff is really what keeps my drumming chops up. Because
we're playing faster tempo, huh?
Oh man, yeah. And being able to do that, like back in the Neurotica days, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I wasn't good enough to do that.
Right.
Like there was no way in hell I would have been able to do that.
Right.
Because I just wasn't that kind of drummer. But yeah, it forced me to become that. And I remember at first, I was like, God, this stuff's hard to play. Now I'm like, yeah, it's not so bad. So yeah, it's a good thing for sure.
Well, that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. So yeah, we got eight new songs, and we got a couple more that we need to demo out, and then what we'll do, we'll just live with those for a while, kind of decide if we want to arrange them any different. I've been practicing this stuff. I did it today. I practiced today, and I've already been coming up with some more ideas and stuff. And it's cool now that we can do that, because the other 2 records we never rehearsed or anything for. They were just kind of like each guy would write a song, and we pick out what we want to do, and then I would just go in and do it. Just knock it out. The first the first record, I played electronic drums because we didn't have a studio, we didn't have a place to record. It was easy for us to use a V drum kit, and I used real cymbals with a V drum kit.
Right.
And this is just how we had to do it. Right. The second record, which we still didn't rehearse for, but it was cool. JV4 brought all of his recording stuff over to my house.
Wow.
And I have a front room where it's like my man cave, like this.
Yeah. I've seen pictures of it too.
Yeah. Where I got my posters up and all that stuff.
You got to invite me over there sometime.
Yeah. You definitely should come over. I got a drum riser. It's like, dude, how many people got a drum riser in the house? Badass.
So, you said, Evil United is like, a band that I'm really a part of, and then I got my work, but you've also kind of been kind of freelancing. I've noticed. Like people know that you play with Seventh Son, which is the the cover band, and you also I heard that you recently did the drums on the new Jessica record. So you're kind of freelancing and doing some things, man. That's great. That's awesome. Anything else that you have kind of like lined up that you might be doing, or share a little bit about some of those projects?
Yeah, the Jessica thing. Well, Jessica started with Seventh Son. It's an Iron Maiden tribute. Gyro had texted me and on Facebook and was like, "Hey, you want to play drums for my Iron Maiden tribute band?" And I'm not much for really so I was like, "Do I want to join a tribute band?" But those guys are like really good, So I was like, that could be something that would be fun to do. And we put it together, and it's a lot of fun. Killer band, those guys. Gyro is just, Gyro and Austin are just amazing guitar players, and Ozzy's great, and Ricio's singing is stellar, So Gyro also asked me if I would play drums on their new EP they got coming out here in the next couple months. So I was like, yeah. I got them hooked up with JV4 to record over there. Did the drums for them, and I'm excited to see what happens with that. Yeah,
it should be very interesting, man. And I mean, to get you to play drums on their record, that's kind of like a no-brainer, And I think from your end, you continue to immortalize yourself every recording that you do, man. Any last words, Jason, as we end out? I've had you for a long time, man. I know you got things to do. So anything I missed, or any last words you want to share with the people in San Antonio or around the world who will see this interview?
Well, coming up in the next couple weeks, I got a tour with Murder FM. We're going out with a band called Black Tide. And we're starting that in Florida, and it's kind of going around the state. So if you're online, look up Murder FM and check out our tour dates, and come out and check us out at one of these shows.
And what's your wife's name again?
Her name is Lachelle.
Lachelle. I think I want to kind of dedicate this interview to Lachelle, because I think without her standing behind you, we don't know where you'd be, if you'd be here right now sitting with us.
Honestly, her one of the reasons it's been so easy for me is her support. When I'm having problems, I can talk to her, and she's, she really helps me out, and she's totally helped me out with sobriety and all this. Without her, I wouldn't have been able to do it at all. So I'm very fortunate to have her.
Very lucky, man. Jason, thank you so much, man.
Hey, thank you very much. It's great to finally come in here. And
we'll do it again.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Remember, everyone out there, hope you got all the scoop. The comprehensive look at the man, Mr. Jason West. You saw him only right here on Rob's MetalWorks.